The third aspect I want to share that I love about Passive House is that of design. Too often, sustainable design and energy efficiency is something which comes after the bulk of the design process is done. This is something that an architect and an engineer doesn't necessarily consider until a large amount of the design work is already done. And by that point, it's too late. As you know, if you're designing a passive house building or any energy efficient building, the form of that building, the shape, the massing, all those aspects are absolutely critical for the inherent efficiency of that building. If you design something which is very compact, it is inherently going to be more efficient than something which is sprawling and spread out and has a large amount of surface area compared to the internal area or internal volume. Passive house, of course, is very much about the integrated design approach, about designing for efficiency and for comfort right from the very beginning as part of the design process, not something that gets added in too late. And alongside that, sustainability and energy efficiency features are often seen as just that, features, something that you add after you've designed a building, after you've done the work that you wanted to in terms of how the building is laid out functionally, what it looks like, the materials, and then at the end there's like, oh, let's add some sustainability features, which of course some sustainable rating systems kind of promote that idea in some ways because you get to tick a box by adding something rather than it being about the inherent performance and the inherent design of that building. And so Passive House is not about adding features. It's not about doing it too late. It's really about an integrated design process. And it is about the design from the macro scale of the massing and the shape and form of a building right down to the details of how a window is placed in a wall, how a wall junction and a floor junction is built, how the different materials and different components come together. All about design. And as an example of a project, to illustrate that, there's this library in Spain by Play Architects, which is, I think, a very beautiful building set in a historic urban environment, very tight urban environment, not just on a green field with lots of space around it. And you can very clearly see that this is nothing like any kind of stereotyped, obvious passive house building. This is a library, and it's very beautifully done to give back to the public and to interact with the building and the urban fabric around it. And then the internal space is also beautiful with lovely timber and the light. And it's a real combination of everything coming together in one integrated process. There's nothing obvious here which is about building performance or about passive house or about energy efficiency or about comfort. It's all the whole thing. Everything is part of the design process, not something which is added as a feature or something which has come too late and can't influence the way it's designed.